niggas, I just get my mic on, y'all.
Hello everybody, Z-Man1064 here, and welcome to the unbiased review of Unturned Blackout. For those of you who are unaware, Unturned Blackout is a mod that turns Unturned into Call of Duty. It was made by P9. If you guys are familiar with this channel, or with me, you'll know that me and P9 don't really have a liking for each other. There's been a lot of beef over the years, but I'm going to go ahead and put everything behind me for this review. There has been a review made on Blackout, but it was made by Esterin. I hope I'm saying his name right. And Esterin is Russian, so it was a Russian review. So obviously, the people watching this video right now, most of you guys don't speak Russian, so I decided I'm going to do my own unbiased review. Esterin did his own little unbiased review. P9 got a little bit mad at him on Twitter over the review, over some of the stuff that he said. I don't know exactly everything he said, so I can't really vouch or condone anything that he said, and I'm not going to. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to give an unbiased review of Blackout, because I guess there's a concern that the reviews for Blackout are biased because they're sponsored by P9, which is a thing. When there is sponsored content online or a review of something, it doesn't have to be a video game, it can be anything. It's going to be biased because they're being paid to promote that product, to promote that game, etc. So obviously they're not going to highlight any of the bad aspects of something if they're being paid to promote it. But I've decided to do this review anyway just because I thought it would be fun, thought it would be a little bit interesting. I haven't played Blackout that much, so it's a new experience for me. So I would be an unbiased review, especially if I put all of my prior grievances with the creator behind me. Speaking of grievances, I am permabanned from Blackout. Obviously, you guys know me. As soon as they did beta tests, I went on there. I did a little bit of zerging, a little bit of trolling. I spammed the chat. I mic spammed. I did the whole shebang. I'm permabanned from Blackout. Thankfully, I had access to another computer to do this review, and all the footage in this video is footage I recorded on this other computer. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into the review. Hello everyone, welcome to the IRL section of the video. So as I stated prior, I'm banned from Blackout for reasons I've already explained. So there's only one thing I could do. I gotta go to a computer where I'm not banned to do this review. So we're gonna go ahead and head on over to my girlfriend's house because she has my old computer. And we're gonna go ahead and try to play the game over there. So I'll see you guys when I get there. Alright boys, we're here. We're at the old computer, the old rig. So we're finna use this boy to test out this game. It should run Unturned fine, especially considering what Blackout is. So okay, so now that we can get footage of Blackout and I was able to play the game in its finalized state, I can finally give this review. And I know for a fact a bunch of you fuckers are expecting me to go beast mode right now, especially considering it's P9, but like I said, unbiased review. So Blackout is Call of Duty and Unturned. That's it. That's literally all it is. And I'm not saying that as a diss. It executes it extremely well. When I was playing it, it's Call of Duty. They achieved their goal. They wanted to make Call of Duty and Unturned, and that's what they did. I love the music in the menu. Obviously, that was Stas Wally, the GOAT of Unturned loading screen music. Literally has loading screens in the game now, so I'm not surprised why P9 chose him to make the loading screen music. Guy's a pro. I don't know how the fuck they were able to do any of that in Unturned, although the amount of shit that I've seen released for Unturned within the last year, like, it always blows away my expectations because I never expect any of this shit to be possible in the game. Like, how the fuck does Blackout have a menu? It has a fucking main menu. It saves your information, like, you level up and shit, and it all remembers that. Even when you leave the server, there's loading screens like you're joining matchmaking, even when you're not, because you're already on a server. It's almost like serverception. Obviously, it's just like aesthetics to make it feel like another game in a game, and it does it really well. Obviously, P9 spent a pretty penny on this, and, you know, despite my distaste for him, I will say he is probably the only guy that could have done anything like this. He's the only guy with the funding that can do it. Guys has like 200K on YouTube, so obviously he's probably making a decent income from there where he can spend it on doing shit like this. So he is really the only guy that could have done it. And obviously he has hired some very, very skilled people that know what they're doing, very experienced modders, and they were able to build Call of Duty and Unturned from the ground up. It is Call of Duty, practically. They achieved their goal. With that being said, though, me personally, I'm not really a fan of Call of Duty. Never really played the game that much. So, obviously, I'm not really a fan of it. It's just a mindless shooter game. You load into the game. Doesn't matter what game mode, you're shooting people, you're getting kills, you're getting that XP and stuff like that. It's COD. It's COD. People like it. People like the, just the mindless shooter game. You go in, you're really good. You fucking get some quick scopes and shit. You're doing some headshots. You're doing all the cool shit in the shooter games. It's not for me. When I played it, it was certainly entertaining for the first, probably, I'd say 20 minutes. After a while, it did get old for me. Obviously, since the demographic for Unturned is a survival game, I could see people getting bored with it very quickly. Like, if you're just some fucking little kid and you don't really play COD and you're playing Unturned for the survival, you're not going to play Blackout. But if you're playing Unturned for every other reason, then probably Blackout is really fun for you. I will say that the computer I was playing on was really shit. It's my old rig. There's a reason I got rid of it. It ran Blackout perfectly fine. 60 frames. It was really good. I can see this being a poor man's Call of Duty. If you don't have the funding or the good computer to buy Call of Duty, you will probably be installing Unturned and playing Blackout, which is bringing more traffic to the entire game, I would say, especially if this is promoted in a good way. But it's also this kind of weird thing that I'm not really a fan of, and that's just Unturned being a fucking Roblox 2.0, where instead of it just being the survival game or being somewhat of a survival game, it's just a game where people make games in the game. Like, we've had Rust in Unturned, we've had Rainbow Six Siege in Unturned, we've had Escape from Tarkov in Unturned. Now we have Call of Duty in Unturned. I'm just waiting for, like, Minecraft in Unturned or Fortnite in Unturned. That's probably already a thing, actually. Unturned is basically just becoming a game where there's other games in the game. And a lot of people like it. I'm personally not a fan of it just because, I guess I'm more of a traditionalist, if you could even call it that. But, I'm not really a fan of the whole concept, but Blackout is very well executed. A lot of time has obviously put into it, and I will acknowledge it is very well done. Personally, not for me. I don't really get that much enjoyment out of it just because of my own personal taste with video games. I'm usually not playing shooter games that much. In fact, the only shooter game I ever really play regularly is Unturned. And it's less for the PvP and more for just like the voice chat and the funny shit that happens. So if you like Call of Duty, if you have a shit PC, then yeah, Blackout is probably a good option for you. With that being said, though, I got bored pretty quickly. So it's really just up to the player, I guess. If you like that kind of game, if you like Call of Duty and stuff like that, then it's fun. If you're not really a Call of Duty fan, then it's not really for you. I will say I didn't expect there to be so little people on Blackout. The time I played was around Sunday at like 7 p.m. So I could see why there are less people, but I really expected there to be at least like 20 people on the server. I was on a US server. Maybe the EU one was full. I have no fucking idea. I did expect there to be more people on the game. I was only really able to play like deathmatch and capture the flag. I know there's other game modes for Blackout. They basically have all of the main Call of Duty game modes. So there is a little bit of variety, but it's not really for me. Don't really expect another video about Blackout on this channel. I was just doing this review because I felt like someone in the English community should have made a review already that wasn't sponsored. So I guess I'll do it even though the circumstances. So yeah, Blackout, poor man's Call of Duty. It's all right. Personally, I wouldn't play it, but that's just me. You guys can do whatever the fuck you want. So if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Obviously, let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments section. And yeah, that was the video.